Okay, we should be live now, I think. I'm gonna share my live stream link with my team. This is how it's always gonna start out. I should do this beforehand. We'll figure it out. Live streaming 0 overview. Cool. So, hello everybody, whoever is tuning in right now. If this is being watched after the fact, totally fine. Hope you're doing wonderful. And for this video, or stream, I am going to be talking about Zero. Zero is basically, um, you can think of it kind of like Create React App, which is basically a collection of scripts plus a CLI tool that can run that. But Zero is specifically designed at the moment to work with modules or libraries. Because we have quite a few of them at Help Scout, having one single tool to kind of handle all this stuff is very, very helpful because setting up Babel, TypeScript, ESLint, Prettier, Rollup, if you decide to use it, Jest, all of that stuff is very, very painful. Um, Especially if you have a TypeScript project and you need that TypeScript project to build with Jest and Babel and so on and so forth. So that's what Zero is. It's if I can open up an example application, or sorry, module. So here we have React Utils. React Utils and a couple of other ones, they are powered by Zero. So Zero is brought in as a dev dependency. And all the scripts that are part of what builds and tests and compiles and does all that stuff with React Utils is powered by Zero. So here you can see that it's just running Zero pre-start and just basically aliasing the commands that you would have with Zero to the project itself. So one thing that you can do with Zero, and because it's a CLI command, is you can install it globally via npm install help scout 0-g. Or if you have a supported version of npm, you can run npx help scout 0, and that basically runs the 0 command line directly from npm, and you don't have to install it globally if you don't want to. Very handy npm command or npm feature they've added. So here, so now we're in React Utils. I can just run, say, 0 build. No, sorry, npm run build. And this will run the 0 build command, and it's going to build React Utils with 0. Right. Cool. So React Utils, it happens to be a TypeScript project. But what's interesting is I've intentionally written the tests in JavaScript. There's a reason for that, probably maybe in another video, but TLDR is when I write tests for low-level libraries, I have to test every single use case. So even though the type of a specific argument is like string, I have to write a test for it where it might not be a string because it's a low-level library. Sometimes the types might not be available depending on the consuming application. So I have to write tests for this stuff. And trying to write tests where you intentionally provide arguments and stuff of the incorrect type in TypeScript is very painful because you basically have to TS ignore everything. So that's why I wrote it in JavaScript. And this is a fantastic example of how Zero can help because out of the box, Zero's test command, Jest, needs to know how to understand both TypeScript and JavaScript working together and parsing that and compiling that for something that Jest can understand. And all you really need to do in your project is have a Jest config that pulls in Zero's Jest config, and if you need to, extend it however it is you want. Otherwise, you can just use it out of the box. And you actually don't really need to pull in Jest config or have a Babel RC. In this project, I don't even have a Babel RC, or even an ESLint RC. That's because Zero, when you run those commands, it'll pull in and use the config from Zero by default. So if you don't have a Babel RC or anything, that's fine. Zero will just use its own. So what I've done on my computer, at least, is I've installed Zero globally, so I can run the command anywhere. So if I do 0 build, it runs the build command, and now it's compiling with Babel, even though it's a TypeScript project and knows how to handle that, which is great. So there are a bunch of commands that you can do with Zero. Build is one, bundles is one. We don't really have any projects that bundle with rollup, but if you want to, you can. Lint is one, lint. So now it's just running ESLint with prettier and fixing, and now it's just going to fix all my stuff. So looks like there's a bunch of things that I didn't run through this linter prettier fixer. And the reason for that is because React Utils was created way before 0. And only recently it was updated to 0.3, which has all these handy commands. So yeah, so in any project you can just run 0lint, and it'll do that for you. I'm just gonna check out all this stuff because I don't want to commit that. Okay, 0. What else can I do? Pre-commit. Pre-commit is nice. So pre-commit is something that you can hook into your pre-commit scripts, and it'll run tests on applicable files. It'll lint and prettify and fix anything that's required. And one thing that it also does is it'll tidy up and fix markdown files. So this is really handy for, let's see, this README file. So it'll automatically generate a table of contents for you, which I didn't run it here. That's a bad example, but it'll automatically generate a table of content for you if it's applicable. Test is a nice one. So if I do 0 test, it runs jest. Jest out of the box, you can run any kind of commands you want. Watch all, run in band, or whatever it is. It just works. And here I'm just going to run all of them. And again, because this project is written with TypeScript, but the jest tests are in JavaScript, and 0 knows how to understand and parse and run all that kind of stuff, which is nice. Okay, all my tests are good. It's telling me I'm a good boy. 0, what else can I do? Oh yeah, one thing I've added to 0, which is nice, is there is type ahead support inside of jest. Let's see. What's the name of the test? P. Component, sure. So we get this kind of interface, which is super nice for jest, especially if you have a lot of files. What's interesting is that this kind of type ahead thing was actually part of jest inside of version 20, 21, maybe like something like that. And at one point, maybe jest 22, they removed it, but you can still add it back in as a plugin for jest. And for 0, I've done it for you out of the box, so you don't have to do that because less config is good. You don't want to config anything. It's tedious and annoying. So yeah, so you can do this. You can go up and down and select whatever test you want and run that specific test, and it's nice. Cool. What else can I do? Oh yeah, type check. 0 type check. So if your project happens to be a TypeScript project, you can actually check your types to make sure everything is good. All this does is it locates your tsconfig and it runs a TypeScript compiler, but it doesn't output anything. So that's how it does the type checking. So if I happen to be in a project that isn't TypeScript, which is, there's a lot of them here. What's a non-TypeScript project? Sure. I don't know. This one? I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. Yeah, I couldn't find the tsconfig and now it doesn't do anything. Cool. Go me. I built that into the logic. Let's see. What else can I do? Pre-start. Pre-start's a really nice one. So pre-start is actually just help scout pre-start, which is a library I created. And all that does is that it checks your dependencies against your package.json. And if there's anything missing, it'll do an npm install for you. Otherwise, it won't do anything. And this is really nice if you hook it into your, well, your package.json pre-start, like that. And that means you never have to think about doing an npm install ever again. Just run npm start and you're good to go. So this is a handy little thing. The most advanced thing 0 does, I guess, in addition to all this stuff, and this is why it's really, really nice for modules and libraries, is you can generate a brand new module with 0 by doing 0 new. I'm going to call it, I don't know, I'm going to call it chicken. Yeah, scope. So what scope is basically, you know how packages, at least the help ones, have like help scout / whatever. That's what the scope is. So here you just pass in whatever scope you want, or if you press enter, it'll skip it. No scope required. Okay, it'll generate all these files. It'll install my dependencies for me. And with that, I am good to go. I can start building, testing, writing, whatever I want for my particular for my particular project. And if I add a tsconfig, then I can start writing TypeScript, and it's great. So this is exceptionally helpful for creating new libraries, which I happen to do quite often for reasons. So this has been very helpful for me. And yeah, that's an overview of all the features we have for Zero. We'll probably add more. Oh, last one. This one I can't really give a demo of, but proxy. This was added maybe 30 minutes ago. That uses ProxyPack, which is a open source library that allows you to serve your assets via proxy from your Webpack build. This was created by Tom, who's on our team. Did a fantastic job, and I just added this command as a handy dandy thing as part of Zero. So yeah, so maybe in the future we'll add additional commands for Zero to run things, and this could be maybe our front-end based CLI task runner tool where we just do everything through Zero. That'd be fun. But for now, it's a very handy tool specifically for modules and libraries. So let's check out this project, this chicken project that we generated. Great. So we have our Babel RC, we have our ESLint, we have our prettier file, we have our prettier ignore, we have a Travis, we have all this stuff generated for us. Happy coding. That's all I have. The only thing that the zero new command doesn't do for you is that it doesn't set up enzyme. So if you happen to have a React project and you want to have enzyme tests and things like that, you have to install it yourself. Zero does know how to handle React, though, out of the box. It knows how to parse and handle JSX and do all that kind of stuff. But I intentionally left enzyme out of the equation because not every module generated by Zero will be React-based. So I kind of left that out, and I figured that'd be fine. If you wanted to write a React-based module, you just add it yourself. Yeah, so that is Zero. Hopefully this was helpful, and I hope you have a great day. Catch you later. Bye.